to start today's vlog, and so for the Thursday night game, it was Texans versus Saints.
No.
I mean
Falcons.
Saints versus Falcons.
And I would have picked the Falcons, and
Me
I would have been
too.
wrong.
Yep.
You? All right.
The first game, Redskins Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets. They actually looked pretty good against the Dolphins, and Kenny Stills. Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker are two pretty good receivers. Well, Decker's pretty good. Marshall's just a freak, and yeah, they have a good enough quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Redskins. They're not horrible, but I think the Jets are better.
What do you think, Wiz? Hook. He picks the hooks. The thumbs. The guy with the thumbs.
No, I'm pointing to you. I want you to go.
I have thumbs. I pick the Jets. I pick the Jets. The Redskins are terrible. You can't count on them. So.
No, they're actually 2-2.
Really?
Yeah, they won one in the last second.
They just seem so terrible. Who's their quarterback? McGowan?
Kirk Cousins.
I guess the one time I saw him play, Kirk
I
Cousins
actually
was
don't want
really
to do
awful.
Tell me when you were saying when the Broncos were saying. That's
okay,
gonna be pretty soon, but
we'll yell. It will be actually pretty soon. Okay, go
Cardinals,
ahead.
Steelers. I'm gonna pick the Steelers.
Ooh, is this your upset of the week?
Yes. Well, the Cardinals, they looked pretty good. Fitzgerald, Malcolm Butler, who was the name? Steelers, I think Michael Vick is good enough. I don't think many people are going to pick the Steelers, but I think they're going to come through. I think Michael Vick's still a good enough quarterback, and Antonio Brown's, they don't pass too much, but they have good enough running backs, kind of.
I think Michael Vick, he seems to not know that Antonio Brown is on the team, but if those guys can figure it out, they can be dangerous. Vick still has huge arm, but he's just not terribly accurate. I think the Cardinals are just too good. I pick the Cardinals.
It's going to be a good match, I think. Vikings, Chiefs. I'm picking Vikings. Chiefs are actually 1-4. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to miss the Broncos.
We'll let you come back and do it.
They're really good, but
do you want to jump? Can we jump ahead to the Broncos just for a second? Wiz has some things to do.
All right, who will I pick for the Broncos?
Broncos and who?
Broncos
Browns.
and Browns.
No, it's Broncos and...
You just can't see it, Wyatt.
Broncos and Browns, that's who it is.
I want the Browns.
Okay. You what? What?
I mean the Broncos.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I mean the Browns. Broncos.
And as I was saying, the Chiefs look like a pretty good football team, but they're actually they're 1-4, and I think the Vikings they're both about this equal, but I think they're just gonna win because you have to pick somebody.
The Chiefs were really underwhelming last week, and I don't know what happened, but they also lost Jamal Charles, and the Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater is the real deal, man. He's gonna be something for a long time if he doesn't get hurt, which everybody in the NFL gets hurt all the time. Bills.
You got an undefeated team with a team that looks goodish.
Sometimes, huh?
Yeah, so, LaShawn McCoy's still a pretty good running back. Sammy Watkins is a great wide receiver. Herman's I think he's past his good days, but...
He was always really spotty.
What does that mean?
He's super good for a minute, and then just disappears, and super good, and...
Yeah, he doesn't always try his best. He sometimes jogs.
What a tool bag.
But I just noticed that. I saw him do it, like, once. He was just, like, running this route with no care, and I think Bengals, they can beat the Seahawks, and they're not as good as people think this year, but I still
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think the Bengals are solid.
I'm picking the Bengals.
I know, but well, I'm not disagreeing with your pick, but they're not as good as people think they are. I think they're gonna be maybe somebody that can challenge the Patriots before the Super Bowl. Andy Dalton is finally consistently good. He still has his moments, but not as bad as
AJ Green.
our Peyton Manning. Yes.
AJ Green is on my fantasy team, and he looks.
He's a freak. Blue hands and so fast. But also, who's number 12?
Mohamed Sanu.
Mohamed Sanu is very good.
Bears. Lions. This is going to be an excellent, fun game. The Lions.
Why do you say that?
The Lions are supposed to be good. They haven't won a game, but the Chiefs, the Bears are a little better than expected. The Lions are a little worse than expected, so they're right kind of at the same level. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to pick the Bears. The Lions can't get their stuff together.
That's true. I think they got some issues right now too. They benched what's his name? Stafford.
They did?
Mhm.
Who's their quarterback?
I don't know who played quarterback. I don't even remember. I know that coach is probably got maybe 1 or 2 games left before he's fired, especially after benching Stafford. Stafford needs to get his stuff together, put his hat on forward.
The Bears actually don't look horrible. Eddie Royal and Ashland Jeffrey, 2 decent players, and Lions are kind of a mess right now. The Bears.
Yeah, I think they miss the giant jerk. The nut smasher.
Their old coach?
Ndamukong.
Oh.
Fun fact. Oh, never mind.
Say it. Yeah. He kicked the
one of the firefighters that I work with, but I'm not friends with him on Facebook, so he won't see this. He was roommates with him in Detroit or what have you for camp or something like that. Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Bears are just fell right off. Yeah, Eddie Royal was a good trade to get. I think they should have kept Brandon Marshall still. I think they should have kept Brandon Marshall if they didn't care. Broncos. Browns.
I can hear you guys talk from the back.
I'm gonna pick Broncos. Both Talib is questionable. Demaryius Thomas is questionable. DeMarcus wears out. I'm a little worried about my defense, but I think even if they don't play, whoever steps up, no matter if that's whoever can step up for the corner role, if that's Bolden or Bruton or one.
They're so deep at corner. They got Roby is really solid. Of course, Chris Harris. I'm not terribly stressed about it, and they're pretty deep at linebacker too. I think Barrett. I mean, it's just going to be less rest.
That Demaryius Thomas is big, but
that is big.
But I think Emil can run it.
Yeah, and I think they can just use Virgil Green a little more.
Or Daniels.
I pose the question: would Brock Osweiler have scored more points than Peyton Manning last week? I think that's going to get to be a legitimate question. They're going to keep winning. Manning's never going to get benched, but he is not.
Amazing. Yeah, I think with that, you still need somebody to play Roby's old role. If that's Kayvon Webster or Tony Carter, they can
Gary
put.
Stewart.
He's a safety. They can put 3 wideouts. You need to have.
How many corners do you need?
You need to have another third guy with to be able to come in there. You don't want to have a quick wide receiver on a linebacker or a safety. So you need like Tony Carter or Kayvon Webster step up and take the role until Talib can get back, or maybe he'll play.
Yeah, they're gonna miss Talib. No matter who they put in there, there's nobody who's a better cover corner and a better tackling corner. He doesn't miss tackles. Do we need to go to a new?
Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2, but I guess we could just kind of extend this talk with the Broncos because we just like talking about it. I think Brandon Marshall, he didn't have an explosive game last year. He just played his position right. Last week he played his position right, but I think he can come up, play hard, and
he's
shut some people down.
until last week. Last week was ish. It wasn't terrible. He just didn't have big plays, but he is one of the best linebackers in the league right now.
Shane Ray and Akeem Barrett. We'll see you on part 2.